Superstar. Hello. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Erin.
I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
Ladies. Hello.
Hello.
Let's start off strong. What was the best part of your week this week?
I got on the bike in the morning. I'm back to my morning bike routines. And for me, that's amazing. I didn't realize how much I love starting my day off with getting exercise in. And I know that doesn't sound like a win for some because they're like, why would you wake up early? But it really has transformed my day.
Yeah.
Because it's done. And then I have all this energy later. And it had been a while since I'd gotten into the routine. So I'm finally back to my morning exercise routine. And I love it.
That's awesome. Yay.
Of course, I had to make it on brand. It was something, exercise, food related. But
yes. Well, listen, that's what we're here to talk about. So that's okay. But it doesn't have to be that. It could be I got more sleep this week, or I managed to put cream on my hands every night before I went to bed. And I moisturized.
Or I just woke up this morning and got out of bed. Yay.
There you go.
Yay.
That's important.
What was your best thing of the week, Rikki?
Oh my gosh. I have two. Can I share two?
No.
Extra.
So one is kind of the same as Candice. One is kind of the same as Candice because I had a coworker who has a Peloton, and we hadn't worked together in a couple of years because she's in a different grade. I switched grades, and we were talking about our bikes and just like we used to challenge each other. Like, I know we're not in the same grade, but let's challenge each other. So I mentioned it to Candice because I know that she does her her early workouts, and I wasn't sure if she was still doing them, but I did an early workout too. So I was really proud of that. And I just determined that I need to continue to do that because it really does, as hard as it is to get up and to make myself go to bed early, it makes a difference. And I went to the Elevation Worship concert. Stephen Furtick was there. It was such a wonderful night. And I got to go with my friend whose daughter went to her. It was her first concert. So
yay. That's a high energy show. That's awesome.
I was dancing. I was jumping. I don't jump. I don't have the knees to be able to jump, but I was jumping.
She's like, but these knees are going to work today.
At Capital One too, because that's not the worst seats I've ever had in my life. Pardon me, Capital One. We're up in the tippy top where I thought I was going to fall over. Not great. Is that where you were? And dancing?
So the Lord has to forgive me and my friend. Shout out to Melissa, because we did become a little advantageous when we realized we were in the 400s, and we had one seat behind us, and that was it. We were as high as you can get. So Rikki. We did move down to the 200s after the show started, and we did have to move a couple times and get creative with what we told the people about where our seats were.
So you lied at the Elevation Christian Worship Show. Worship show.
Why is such a harsh word?
We were
before Jesus, he's gonna be like, that's creative and still not the truth.
And we omitted some things, and I have to admit, God, please forgive me for my sin of omission.
You had to be closer to the worship, Rikki. I understand.
Well, yes,
sometimes it hits you.
I was really unsafe in the 400s. It was just not.
It was a safety issue, Erin.
Listen, trust me, I believe that. It's safer for everybody that I'm in the 200s.
Yes.
If I start rolling down from the 400s, I'm taking everybody with me.
Exactly. That's how I felt. Yeah. And I learned a valuable lesson. Next time I will pay for tickets in 200 or lower.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saving your fellow concert goers with not tumbling down from the 400s and being very considerate. Rikki, congrats.
Yes. Thank you. It was just for all of humanity.
Things you do. Now, Erin, you have to round us out. Look, are you a morning exerciser too? Are you going to make it 3 of 3 or no?
No, it's not going to be 3 of 3 because I actually did not formally exercise at all this week. But I was in the office every day this week. And so that gave me more. I noticed that when I'm in office, my activity actually goes up. Yeah. So because I'm walking back and forth and all of that jazz. So I I did that intentionally for the exercise, but also for some of the human element, if you will, this week. I think my biggest thing that I'm most proud of myself for is I had a couple literally full days starting at 7 a.m. and not ending until 9 p.m. But I meal prepped at the beginning of the week, and I meal prepped my lunch and my dinners, and I hit Wednesday and then meal prep breakfast for the rest of the week. And I didn't feel like doing it. I had a whole mess of ingredients. I was an ingredient household this week. I needed to prep it. I had to prep it. I kept thinking, remember what Heather, our very first meeting coach, she would say, feet first and your head will follow. And I was like, feet first and my head will follow. Feet first and my head will follow. I don't want feet first and my head will follow.
It's like, oh, fine. This is fine. Yeah.
This is fine. This is good. This is the best thing for me. But I had food to eat all week, and that was awesome.
Well, can I share one more that you all be so proud of?
Yes.
Yeah.
I ate pinto beans this week on purpose.
Wow.
And I know for others, remember, we're talking about Candice here.
Right.
I'm growing, I'm learning. And
Right.
like, I'm instead of saying I don't like beans, I'm choosing, because I was told that I am going to like beans for my health, that like I can add them in. And so I made like a chicken pinto bean avocado cilantro dressing thing, and it was amazing. It was really good. And I was proud because when I put the beans in, I was like, I don't know about this.
Did you blend the beans?
The recipe doesn't call for them to be blended. It was like they're in there. You cook them, but then you like scoop them in with the chicken and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, but it wasn't bad. So I was really proud of myself because I was like, my ladies understand.
Yeah.
This is not me. David was like, so you're going to eat it? I was like,
David's like, I'm not eating it.
It's good. And I'm not wasteful. So
I love it.
Candice, I think you're almost ready for the next step, and that is blending the beans.
And then what do you do with them?
Put them into soup as a thickener, and it's extra fiber. So instead of using cream,
you use beans.
Well, so like
now that I've had a cup of pinto beans.
So a couple episodes I shared about Downshiftology's white chicken chili.
Yeah.
And she uses white beans, and you have the beans are in the soup, but then you take like a cup of the beans and you blend it with the chicken broth and stir it back in. Okay. And it gives that creamy element without dairy. So I'm writing this down so that I can link this in the episode, because I know somebody's going to ask for the recipe.
Yeah.
Downshiftology. And that's it's a 0 point soup, actually. Because it's just, or maybe 1 point, because it's the chicken broth, it's chicken and white beans and cilantro, and it's really delicious. That's
I'm gonna try it.
That's one of my freezer soups.
Let's do it.
I know.
Sounds good.
It's great.
And then I'll have to teach you about how to use beans in desserts.
Guys, what you're missing if you're not watching us on YouTube, remember you can go to YouTube and put in Real WW Talk, as Erin did the hands like the sinister. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You've come.
Welcome to the dark side.
I can understand sampling it, but I'm like, now you're doing too much, Erin. That's asking too much to ask her to make them, or anyone else.
It's asking too much of beans. Just it's too much. Now, I have been soaking lentils, so I've been working on the fiber thing. I have been soaking lentils and then making bread out of it. I talked about that a couple episodes ago, and I love both of your.
I don't remember that, Rikki. Do you remember that?
I feel like I would remember that.
You didn't tell me about soaking lentil bread.
I swear I did.
Prove it. Find it.
Okay. Pause. I'll find that out too. No, you take lentils, you soak them, you add some what's the fiber called? That's not Metamucil, it's the original version of it.
Benefiber.
No, it's not Benefiber. Why am I drawing a blank?
Psyllium husk?
That's it.
Good job, Rikki.
10 points
Good
for
job,
Rikki.
Yeah.
Psyllium husk and a little bit of water and some salt and some baking powder, and you blend it all together, and it is stunning and shocking that it will create little rolls and breads that taste and look like rolls. I put it in the Real WW Talk Facebook group. That's why. I put it in the Facebook group probably 2 weeks ago. And so I've been now experimenting further with the lentil breads, and I made, it was a the Greek, like the spinach spanakopita. That's the spinach and the feta cheese, lactose-free feta cheese. And then you mix that into like that bread mixture. And it is, I've been snacking on that all week. So good. Let me put that recipe down there too.
Erin's like, I'm going to stop talking because now I have all these recipes.
I got right. Exactly. But last week we were talking about lunch. And I just want to come back because we had some folks who joined into our Real WW Talk Facebook group and shared some thoughts with us. So Susan shared for lunch, she had 2 big turkey meatballs with marinara sauce and Parmesan cheese, and then some seasoned roasted broccoli and an ice cold Coke Zero. That was one of her favorite lunches.
Okay.
That sounds delightful. Yeah. And then Melissa shared a mock chicken shawarma. That was 5 points and 66 grams of protein.
That is
wow.
Yeah.
I need that.
So she did low carb tortilla. That was 2 points. And I'm sure that has fiber in it. 2 Mediterranean. And by the way, the low carb tortillas also have a bunch of fiber and protein. 2 Mediterranean chicken skewers from Costco. She said she added some more seasonings. And then she made us tzatziki sauce of a 1/2 cup of blended cottage cheese, plus a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, shredded cucumber, dill, and lemon juice to taste. And then chopped lettuce, tomato, and cucumber. Doesn't that sound delicious?
Amazing. Yeah, it really does.
That's
I need to try that this week. Because I'm going to Costco, so I can get.
Oh, okay. Well, look for those Mediterranean chicken skewers then.
Yeah.
And then Andrea said she's doing the Holy Mess 3-day diet. Shout out to Sarah and the Holy Mess.
What's up, Sarah?
She's eating for her snack, there's a veggie soup in the recipe for the 3-day diet. And she said, I've been eating it for a snack and I'm in a rush between activities. So I'm eating it cold and it is really good eaten cold. I may have found my new way to eat soup, especially during the hot months.
All right.
I know that all right when I hear it. I've heard that all right.
So my thing is that maybe I need to research this. My friend loves gazpacho, and I feel like she'll order it. Is gazpacho just a cold soup,
it's a cold tomato soup? But there are other cold soups that you can make in the summer. Like there's cucumber soups. Yeah, that's
watermelon.
I'm not there yet, guys. I'm just, I feel like I'm going to get there, right? Because something about that doesn't seem very exciting. And I'm trying to figure out why.
I didn't say I tried it.
Yeah, you're at pinto bean level right now. It's taken you 4 years to add pinto beans to something.
Remember when I didn't need zucchini?
Yes.
Right.
You've made a lot of progress.
So listen, it's okay because you're just not operating. Andrea's at a different level than you are.
I want to be excited. Like I was like that. I feel like that's probably good. I just need to get there.
But I salute Andrea because that's not, I will say for me, like doing the cold soup is probably not where I would go. But honestly, when you think about it, that's like a smoothie. It's a vegetable. If you were to blend it up, it would be a vegetable smoothie. So
I trust Andrea. Maybe I need to. That's what I'm, Andrea. If I try it and I love it, it'll be you.
It'll be you, girl. It's going to be you. So yeah. So okay. Now I'm going to link over here to the 3-day Holy Mess. Hold on. Let me write them down. Okay. And then there was something else that I thought was really great in the group. Connie asked for more ways to get protein in through the day. And she said, please, no cottage cheese or tuna. We feel that, Connie. There were some good ideas, so I just plucked a couple out. Valerie says every morning in her coffee she uses 1/3 of a Fairlife Nutrition Plan chocolate shake as her creamer. And then she adds in 2 tablespoons of Vital Proteins unflavored collagen. And that's only 19 grams of protein for 1 point.
Okay.
How about that? Kathy says that she makes Jello pudding with the Premier protein and a couple tablespoons, and then she's a couple tablespoons of pudding. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe she's a couple tablespoons of pudding and a little bit of the Premier protein together. And then Marianne, she's going for roasted chickpeas or even chickpea salad, a can of chickpeas, chop red onion, chop red pepper, lemon, olive oil, any veggies, cucumber, whatever you like, she said. And that's been a great way to get more protein in. I like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Don't forget about your plant-based protein because, as Candice, as you know, the beans have the fibers and the proteins.
And seriously, when you need, like, fiber is very important to me. Like, I mean, it's important to everybody, but like making sure that I have enough, if I'm eating a lot of protein, that I have the fiber as well is something that I'm recently focused on. So high fiber stuff is great.
Yep. I love it. Okay. And then one final thing that I want to mention are our supporters who, thank you. We have kicking the month off for new supporters, Sky and Kimberly.
Yay! Thank you so much.
All of this conversation. Thank you, Sky and Kimberly and everyone else.
You're the winner. You're the winner. We had something to give you, but all we have is Bravo stars. Right?
For a second, I thought you were going to say all we have is broccoli. And I'm like, is that a win?
Fiber. That's because I have fiber on the brain, but no.
0.
Bravo stars.
You know, broccoli actually has a lot of protein in it.
I don't think I knew that.
Wait, Erin, did I not send you a text? I sent Erin a text, okay, guys, in the past week because I did the whole frozen broccoli thing, right? Where you take the frozen broccoli and you throw it on the pan. And I was like, Erin, quick, what temperature should the oven be on? Because I had it on 350, and Erin was like,
like you're just gonna steam your broccoli.
You're just gonna steam it. But guys, it's really good. Like, it turned out great. I just put a little seasoning on it. I was so proud.
It's hard. Like, it's hard pressed to know that it's not that different from fresh broccoli that you've roasted, isn't it?
You don't have, because I was like, this is not going to work. These are like rock solid frozen. But I trusted. So in case you all are wondering and you're like hard pressed with time and you want to get your veggies, frozen or not, throw them on that roasting pan and 425, right?
Yep.
425 with a little seasoning. And you too can have roasted broccoli. That's amazing.
I adore this for you. I adore this for you, Ken.
I know. I was so excited. And Erin probably was like, oh, Lord, look at her.
I was like, please, God, let this be successful for Candice.
I know. I was like, I have done it. Look at the picture.
I can't help. I can only advise with the seasonings. I just got to trust her.
She was like, just figure it out. Yeah, but thank you.
So, you're good. Yay. Okay, well, let's pivot into dinner winners, ladies. We'll wrap up our series on all of our different meals. So what do you look at when you think about dinner? I would love for us to talk about both eating in and eating out, quick meals, and then our splurge dinner meals, right? Because we'll dinner out with friends kind of a thing. So when you guys are putting together a dinner meal, what's criteria for you that dinner meal has to have?
I can start. So I feel like I like to make things that are simple and quick. So I don't often like get raw meat from the store and cook it from that. A lot of times I will get something that's kind of prepackaged, like already cooked.
I was like, are you butchering your own animal? You're like, I don't get raw meat.
No, in the other direction of simpler, not harder. Not quite there yet.
Me, I've raised the cow.
Right.
Come on, boys.
That's simple.
Very.
But I like how Trader Joe's has a lot of prepackaged meats that are already cooked. So like whether it's turkey meatballs that are in the frozen section, or like the meats that they have like pulled chicken, and things like that. So I'll usually grab something like that, and also the frozen rice that they have. It's already like usually in the frozen section, it comes with 3 packages. And then I'll pick a vegetable or something, and then I have like my 3 basics, and I just have to heat them up, and it doesn't take too long. If the meat doesn't have some type of sauce with it, I'll try and get some, because I don't want it to be dry. That's the thing about things that are like already cooked. Sometimes you have to make sure there's something with it to make sure it doesn't dry out. But I usually do that. Yeah, finding a combination of things that are already cooked, that I can just mix together and make a meal.
Yeah. Candice, how about you?
Yeah, I was actually trying to pull it up, but I maybe a little similar to Rikki. I'm in the season of convenience right now. Think life is just lifing. So I'm usually good with a protein, a carb, and a veggie. So I am big on the rotisserie chickens right now that I can get, because it's just amazing. And then I'm loving, I tried to pull it up. It's the Seeds of Change organic quinoa and brown rice. They have them right now, but they're prepackaged. I mean, they're in a little packet, and you put it in the microwave for like 90 seconds, and it has garlic with it as well. So it's already kind of got all the flavor that I want for my carb. So if I put the rotisserie chicken with the quinoa and brown rice, and then my broccoli that I'm roasting from frozen, it's quick. And David's happy. Isaiah likes to, he's a bougie eater. Everyone knows my son, like,
he's better than all of us.
Quinoa, what kids like? I want my quinoa brown rice, but he likes it. So that's been a game changer for me, because I wanted something that wasn't just brown rice, but also had some additional. So if you can find that, I really enjoy it.
Nice. I've been doing, it depends on the weather. I like, when it comes to dinner, I like something that's definitely warm and kind of cozy. And I don't mind a little bit more, for me, I don't mind a little bit more assembly time for it if it's a day that I'm working from home, or if it's a weekend. But I have been making like a hamburger helper kind of a thing. There's something, it's something about like the noodles and the meat, and you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of comfort meal when it's really, really cold. And then I'm always, whatever I do, I always make sure that I have protein, the vegetable, and then, and if the vegetable can be vegetable and starchy vegetable, I just feel better that I'm eating all whole foods type of a thing. And then like you with the quinoa, like if I don't eat a starchy veg, then I'll put the, rice or something like that in there with it.
You know what else has been a game changer for me, or not game changer, a lifesaver, are stir fries. Like stir fries, I mean, because it's a way for me to bulk up a meal of whatever veggies I have, like, the broccoli, the onion, red bell peppers, sometimes carrots, whatever you throw in there, garlic, obviously, and whatever sauce, and your meat, your protein. And then if you want to put it over rice, you can, but even if you don't, like, it's just great. Yeah. So I've been loving trying different stir fries.
Yeah. I forget about them, and like how quickly those come together, like yield, what is it? The turkey guys, turkey and the cabbage and the onion, egg roll in a bowl.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know.
Why is my brain totally not firing today?
It's okay.
Egg roll in a bowl. And that's super filling.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like, you ever get in those times where you're like, I need to consume every morsel of food that's in this kitchen right this second.
Yeah.
I feel like the egg roll in a bowl is one of those where I can it's the volume. And it's so good for me. Volume.
And the good thing about, I don't know about egg roll in a bowl, but I know with some of the stir fries, like the vegetables and the proteins, you can freeze. I did this a while. I used to do this more in the past, but you can put them in the freezer bags and label them like with what you have in there, and with the sauce as well, and freeze it so that when you want to kind of do it, especially if you're really, crunched for time, it's already pre-done. And you just throw it in the pan, let it, unthaw, whatever. But it was great. Absolutely wonderful. Lifesaver.
How about the crock pot for you guys?
I haven't used mine in a while, but I know that there's just so many good recipes and it's just so convenient. I used to make shredded chicken in it, and then you could have it for like tacos and then use it another night, throw it into a stir fry even, I feel like it can make things that are very versatile.
Yeah.
Candice, you said, I love my chocolate. What are you doing?
I've used it for both. I use the Instapot and the crock pot, but my big thing I've been using it for is not breakfast, but really oatmeal, like overnight oatmeal, like for it to cook low and slow and put because I had used to, I'm trying to get in some different fiber and other really good opportunities, but that's something I've been using the crock pot for. So it's not really a breakfast, but.
Are you using rolled oats or are you using the steel cut oats?
Steel cut.
Oh, I love the steel cut oats in the crock pot.
So there's a lot of recipes for things that you can do and you wake up and the house smells so good, and then your husband like a little Martha Stewart, and you're like, this is just
Weight Watchers used to have. I don't know if it's still in the app. It was a pumpkin steel cut oat, like an autumn steel cut, and then an apple steel cut oat recipe. And the great thing about the steel cut oats, once they're all cooked, you can freeze them. And they defrost great. So you can even batch prep your steel cut oats.
Okay.
And you like those super cubes that I've talked about before, those 1 cup portions, you can do the half cup, or if you do the half cups, then you can put frozen berries on top of it, freeze those all as in one block. And then when you defrost it, you got the berries in it. And as you heat it up, everything just, mooshes together. Yummy.
So,
and then go ahead, Rikki.
So I was going to say, I feel like appliance wise, a lot of times, Erin, you've been talking about your beloved, toaster, or what a toaster oven.
My toaster oven. Yep.
Yeah. For so many years. And I'm later to the game, but I don't know if I've talked about it a lot, but like, I think it was last Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, I, hunted the sales and I was like, I think I want to get rid of my, my air fryer. I'm having trouble finding words this morning too. But yeah, my air fryer, because it was, kind of clunky and taking up space. But I was like, if I'm going to have something on the counter, I'd rather have a toaster oven because it's how versatile it can be. And I love it. Like it's so convenient as far as like making toast. I want to make toast. But then, the settings I have it on, I can make, French fries or something like that because it has a toaster oven feature. But I can also bake like salmon from frozen, and I can set it to like this is frozen. And I feel like it's an underutilized device in my kitchen.
What's the brand, Rikki?
I think mine is Cuisinart.
Okay.
No, it's Breville.
Because I'm trying to, I think Erin's coming back. Okay.
Is it me?
Frozen for a second. I was like, is that a bad brand?
Yeah, if you all watch, guys, you were frozen in Joker face. So
I was like, is that a bad
so
brand?
Rikki was like, why are you upset about my toaster oven?
I was like, wait a second. Was it Rikki's internet or was it? And then Candice, you froze. And I'm like, I think I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Back, guys, that was funny.
Breville is the brand that I have, and it's a toaster oven and an air fryer. I like the dual, functions, but using it even just as an oven, it heats up quicker than my main oven. It's just wonderful.
Welcome to the side. Welcome to the side. I do to say, I love Trader Joe's has the Atlantic salmon, right? Those strips. And so I will do the salmon strip, and then I'll take the frozen broccoli and then season everything, put it on the pan and crank it up. And they're both cooked at the same time. And it's only like 10 minutes. I mean, that's an easy, quick. And then if you've got rice or quinoa already like in the freezer, you nuke that for a couple seconds. That's a really easy dinner to throw together. I love it. Ooh. Can I add one more thing that I like too? If I do the salmon and the broccoli and the rice, I'll use the nori sheets. You know how you can get the those little nori sheets that are like little snack container ones, right? The roasted. I'll either chop those up or I'll add like a little bit of sriracha and the mayo to the top of it.
See, I remember you did that, and then I bought them and forgot why I bought them. And now you have reminded me, because I was like, what was I going to do with this?
So good. Like a sushi. It's a warm sushi bowl kind of a thing.
Yes. It's so good.
I remember that.
Erin,
I need to bring that out. I need to bring that back. Yeah.
Put it back on your list. Where's your list?
Yeah.
Sharing.
Look, I've got a list, man.
Put the nori thing on there, because that was so good. I feel like, that was really
I know.
Good.
It's really good. Okay, let's just cover eating out. So, you know, for me, for dinner, eating out is a no-go. I can't eat out anywhere. It's
Chick-fil-A.
So hard. Chick-fil-A. I always can do a Chick-fil-A. And I've got, you know, Chipotle. And I got my Five Guys. But I'm talking about like, you know, actual dinner out in a restaurant. That's very difficult to be able to do. I can always do it. Fast casual is always a little bit easier than doing an actual restaurant or brunch or any of those. But for you guys, since you aren't facing the same hurdles that I face,
we all are facing something, guys.
Yes. What do you guys think of, like, when you're going out to, are you still eating out? Are you guys still going out and eating dinner? Rikki, you are. I know you are.
Yeah. I am. I'll share a couple of things. So for the more fast casual type of thing, I love Bibimbap, and it's a place that's near the mall for us, but like I know that they also have them, you know, it's a chain, so you could find them at strip malls, things like that. But it's like an Asian style. Think of like an Asian Chipotle if you've never been before.
Great.
So that you have your base. I like the sweet potato noodles, and even though they say sweet potato, like they have points to them, and like quite a few. And then you put your toppings on. But I feel like this is a place where I love loading up on veggies, because they have like the steamed like broccoli, but it's like seasoned, and Brussels sprouts, and like it's a place where I enjoy loading it up. And the sauce is a high point. The one that I really like, it's the yum yum sauce. But like I feel like because I've had all the veggies and the fiber in there, like I'm not feeling guilty about that. So that's my like fast thing. But for like eating out at restaurants, a lot of times I like Italian food, and that's where I end up, you know. So I tend to like a chicken parmesan, but for me, it's all about moderation. A lot of times I especially at a restaurant like that, I will just make sure I ask for a to-go box, and I'll eat till I'm satisfied. I'll focus on drinking water. Every now and then I might have a glass of wine or something, but you know, it's become more about like the experience, being with my friends, chatting, and then getting that to-go box. And I find joy now in getting a to-go box, like especially if they had a cute little bag. I'm like, and then I get to save it for like lunch, sometimes lunch and dinner the next day. You know, if it's a big portion. So I focus less on like restricting myself and more on you know, what can I enjoy? And also having a salad before helps. So I love a Caesar salad. So a lot of times I'll get a Caesar salad and have that before I have, you know, carbs and other things in my meal.
So it's enjoying the real thing, but in a more mindful portion and really rounding it out with the vegetables.
Exactly.
I love that. Candice, how about you?
I mean, I would agree with a lot of the stuff that Rikki said. One of the things that I do now proactively is before the meal even comes, I tell the waiter that I only want half. Can you put half away? Like you can tell them before it even comes out, like, could you just bring me the half portion and bag up the other half? That's something that I've been doing, so that I'm not even like the portion that comes out is just what I have. And usually I'm fine.
If you get something like a chicken or steak, do they actually cut it in half?
If you ask them, look, a lot of these restaurants are very accommodating. Now, I haven't gone recently to get a steak, or, you know, but talking to a waiter and saying, look, I'm just not able to eat as much, or I just want half to go. Like, I don't want it all brought out. They're like, okay, got you. Like they're
awesome.
So I've learned that closed mouths don't get fed. So when I say it just, all they can say is, oh no, we can't do that. Or yeah, that's fine. So that's been a perfect opportunity for me, because sometimes I'm a seafood eater. Like if I see food, I eat it. So it's like, no, I don't want to. I want to eat the portion that's there, and that's enough. But also, there was another coach or somebody, they've always used it. I've always tried to choose what my thing is that I really want when I'm going out. Is it the drink, which is really, I'm not a drinker, so it's usually not the alcohol. Is it the bread basket, or is it the dessert? Like, what do I want to add that's going to make me feel like this is livable? And it doesn't have to be all three, at the same time. So
I remember back to Heather. Heather's getting
I know it was one of the coaches.
Yeah. Heather would say pick one.
Yeah.
If you're actively, you could do all three if you want, but if you're actively trying right now to lose weight, pick one.
If I go to not Longhorn, there's a place that's known for their rolls. Oh gosh, and it's
Texas Roadhouse.
Thank you. If I go to Texas Roadhouse, their rolls and honey butter, like, it's worth it. I'm like, that's my one. Like, that's my thing.
Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Yeah.
But if I go to like another place and it's just like this basic dinner roll, I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big choice. Well,
I know that it's hard for you, Erin, but when you've had to make that, do you find talking to the wait staff and stuff has been helpful?
Well, yes, but it doesn't always translate into the kitchen. So most of my experiences, the wait staff hears me, and then it goes back to the kitchen. It's a bajillion other orders, and they're flying through stuff, and I can say no butter on this all I want, but I can get it and immediately tell that there's butter on it. So it's just, it's tiring. And I just don't, here it is. Every time I go out, I know I'm set up for a disappointing experience. So why am I going to continue to put myself in a disappointing experience that I'm also paying for?
Yeah.
So while I love my friends, I'm at a table with people who are having a completely different experience than me. And I have to work harder to be at the dinner table than other people. It's not an equitable situation for me.
Yeah.
And
I will say, Erin, one thing that I observed being in Disney, and I know you travel sometimes in that area for some of your work purposes, but unfortunately, it's sad the reason why they do this, but they are very, very accommodating for allergies, because they've had, it's a very big complex, a lot of places, a lot to eat, and they've had people who've gotten, had really bad reactions, passed away because of allergies. So I feel like everywhere we went, they were like, do you have an allergy? Are you sure? So they are now very accommodating. Again, it's very sad, and sorry to hear about those people that happened to, but they are extremely accommodating at Disney and the area around there.
I found it's been a minute since I've been to Disney, but Universal is also very, very, very accommodating as well. And some of it too is, people who are like, well, I want to be gluten-free versus I medically need to be gluten-free. Yeah. And so like when you look at menus, you'll see something that says it's gluten-free. You're like, sure, it is gluten-free, but it stops being gluten-free when it's cooked with other gluten-containing items. So there's a lot of legwork that has to happen to get to the meal. And there are just times when I just don't have it, when I can cook better at home. That's the other thing. It's got to be a restaurant that's worth it. And they're just that just aren't. Now listen, if I didn't have all of this, I would 100% be at Chili's getting those new mozzarella cheese sticks.
Like I would bring all in here.
Right, all in the trash food all day long for sure. It would be a completely different conversation.
That needs to be an upcoming episode. If we didn't have restrictions and didn't care about points, what would we be eating?
What would we be eating? Right.
Yeah. And then everyone would be like, you know what? You ruined my plan this week because I had to try all the things you said.
That's it. So same thing with Weight Watchers though. When you go out to restaurants, it's asking the questions and being proactive, expressing what your needs are. There's a lot of fear around that, or they're going to be mad at me or think different of me. And you're like, at the end of the day, I'm responsible for me and my happiness at the end, tomorrow. So and for me, I don't want to be sick.
This is none of my business.
Right.
They're none of my business.
Right. And it's not my job to manage someone else's emotions around it. Right.
Far be it from me. You stay in your thoughts with all your little things. Yeah.
I'll stay in my thoughts, you stay in your thoughts, and we'll be good.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us for this weekend. But come on into the Real WW Talk Facebook group. Find us on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We've got the YouTube. If you want to see what we look like, the YouTube, my gosh. If you want to watch it on YouTube, come on over. And of course, you can pop us in your pocket, go for a walk, especially as the weather gets warmer, which is so lovely. And then if you want to be a supporter as well, you will find the links in all of the show notes. So,
and join our step bet because it's coming up to get your walk.
And join the step bet. Get that activity in.
Because it's going to be warmer weather and, it makes it so much easier. I'm so excited for this step bet.
It's our spring debut. Let's think about that, emerging from the house. I love it.
I'm just loving how everyone's loving the step bets. And they're like, look, I'm a step bet-aholic. So hearing people be like, when's the next one? Like yes. I knew it. I told you it's the best. So
feed the addiction. That's a good addiction to feed there.
A good addiction to have.
It is.
All right. Have a great week and we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.